Medellin, the city of eternal spring. A travel guide by PalapaVibez.com.
There is a city in Colombia that was once considered one of the most dangerous places on Earth, and today it is one of the most exciting urban destinations in all of South America. A place that has reinvented itself so completely, so visibly, and with such genuine energy that travelers who arrive expecting darkness leave talking about color, warmth, and one of the best trips they have ever taken.
This is Medellin, the city of eternal spring, and the story of what it became is as compelling as the city itself. In this video, we are covering everything: the neighborhoods, the street art, the food, where to stay, and exactly how to plan your trip. Let's get into it.
Medellin sits in the narrow Aburrá Valley in the Colombian Andes at nearly 1,500 meters above sea level. That elevation is the reason for its most famous characteristic, the weather. 22 degrees Celsius every single day of the year. Spring temperatures permanently.
Brief afternoon showers are common but pass within an hour. There is no peak season and no off-season in the traditional sense because the weather never gives you a reason not to visit. That consistency is rare anywhere in the world, and it shapes everything about daily life in the city. The outdoor culture, the flowers everywhere, the way people move through public spaces as if they own them. The city is home to around 2.5 million people within the metro area of approximately 4 million, making it Colombia's second largest city after Bogotá. The transformation story is real and it is recent. In the 1990s, Medellin was in the grip of a violence crisis that made international headlines for years. What happened after that? The urban investment, the public infrastructure, the community-driven cultural regeneration became a model that city planners around the world now study. Cable cars connecting hillside communities to the valley floor. Outdoor escalators turning isolated barrios into cultural destinations. Libraries designed by world-class architects anchoring entire neighborhoods.
Medellin wore its reinvention as a point of pride rather than a thing to move past and forget.
The best months to visit are December through March and June through August, when the dry seasons make outdoor exploring most comfortable.
No visit to Medellin is complete without going to Comuna 13. Once considered among the most dangerous neighborhoods in the world, it is now one of the most compelling open-air cultural spaces in Latin America. The outdoor escalators that connect the hillside to the valley floor were installed as part of the city's urban transformation program and became the catalyst for an extraordinary community renaissance. The entire hillside is now covered in murals. Hip-hop culture, political history, celebration of everyday life, all of it rendered at a scale that turns entire building facades into canvases. Guided tours led by residents of the neighborhood offer context that no amount of research can replicate. They are the ones who live through both versions of this place.
Plaza Botero in the city center holds 23 monumental bronze sculptures by Fernando Botero, Colombia's most famous artist, displayed in an open public plaza free to visit at any hour. The Museo de Antioquia sits right beside it with one of Colombia's finest art collections spanning pre-Columbian artifacts to contemporary work. The Jardín Botánico is a green oasis in the heart of the city with free entry, a stunning latticewood canopy structure called the Orquideorama sheltering the orchid collection, a butterfly house, and weekend concerts that draw families from across the valley. It is one of those places that surprises people who did not expect a botanical garden to be a genuine highlight of a city trip.
Parque RV is a cloud forest nature reserve accessible by metro cable from the Santo Domingo station. The cable car ride alone, soaring above the valley and over forested ridges, ranks among the most memorable things you can do in Medellin.
The reserve at the top has hiking trails, local markets, and the kind of quiet that cities this size rarely produce.
And for a day trip that belongs on any serious Medellin itinerary, Guatapé. A colorful colonial village about an hour and a half from the city, famous for La Piedra del Peñol, a massive granite monolith rising from a reservoir that you climb via 740 steps carved into a crack in the rock. The panoramic view from the top is legitimately jaw-dropping. Medellin's food scene has gone from hearty comfort food to globally recognized gastronomy without losing its pasasol, and that combination is what makes it genuinely exciting rather than just impressive.
El Cielo, helmed by chef Juan Manuel Barrientos, leads the avant-garde end of the spectrum with tasting menus built around Colombian ingredients: cacao, tropical fruits, Amazonian influences, deconstructed into edible art. It is the kind of cooking that puts Medellin on the international culinary map.
Carmen in El Poblado fuses Latin American flavors with European technique in a candlelit townhouse setting. The ceviches alone justify the reservation. The wood-fire cooking program runs through almost every section of the menu and gives the food a depth that lingers.
But the dish you must try above everything else is the bandeja paisa, the definitive plate of Antioquian cuisine. Red beans cooked with pork, white rice, ground meat, chicharrón, a fried egg, an arepa, avocado, and a fried plantain. All on one plate, all at the same time. It is a meal and a cultural statement simultaneously. Hacienda Junín on the pedestrian Junín Avenue downtown serves the full paisa dining experience alongside live trova music that makes the whole thing feel like a celebration.
Mondongo serves the other essential Medellin dish. Mondongo, a tripe soup ladled with conviction and accompanied by enough sides to feed a small army. It has multiple locations across the city, and locals pack every one of them at lunch. Street food deserves equal attention here.
Arepas de chocolo from corner stalls, empanadas still crackling from the fryer, and fresh squeezed lulo juice at any market are all non-negotiable parts of the experience. El Poblado is the most popular base for first-time visitors, a dense concentration of restaurants, bars, and boutique hotels within walking distance of Parque Lleras, the neighborhood social center.
It is polished, safe, and well-connected by metro. The Charlie dominates the El Poblado skyline with a rooftop infinity pool and a contemporary art collection woven through the entire property. It is the most visually striking hotel in the city, and the rooftop views over the valley at sunset are extraordinary.
For a more local experience, Laureles delivers tree-lined streets, neighborhood bakeries, and a lower price point without sacrificing convenience. It is increasingly favored by longer-stay travelers who want authenticity over tourist infrastructure. Selena Medellin covers the social end of the market with co-working spaces, communal kitchen, rooftop bar, and community events that make it easy to meet other travelers quickly.
José María Cordova International Airport sits about 45 minutes east of the city center in the nearby municipality of Rio Negro. Direct flights connect Medellin to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, New York, Madrid, and dozens of Latin American hubs. From the airport, shared shuttle services called colectivos run frequently to El Poblado for around 18,000 Colombian pesos. Private taxis and ride-hailing apps like InDriver or Didi run between 80,000 and 120,000 pesos depending on traffic. Avoid unmarked cars at the arrivals hall. Once in the city, the Medellin Metro is your primary tool. Clean, affordable, and integrated with the Metro cable gondola system, feeder buses, and a tram line that covers virtually every attraction worth visiting.
Buy a rechargeable Civica card at any metro station for seamless tap and go access across the whole network.
For domestic travelers, Olea Herrera Airport sits within the city itself and handles shorter routes from Bogotá, the coffee region, and coastal towns, a much faster option than going back through Córdoba for regional hops. A few practical things that will improve your experience significantly. Safety in Medellin has transformed dramatically, but standard urban precautions still apply. Stick to El Poblado, Laureles, and Envigado at night. Use registered taxis or ride-hailing apps rather than hailing cabs off the street. Keep electronics in pockets rather than on display in less familiar areas. None of this should discourage you. It is the same common-sense approach you would apply in any major city. Connectivity is excellent. Prepaid SIM cards from Claro or Movistar cost under 50,000 Colombian pesos and give you generous data for navigation and ride-hailing. Purchase one at the airport or any electronics shop.
Tap water in Medellin is safe to drink, one of the better maintained municipal water systems in South America.
And respect the altitude on arrival. At nearly 1,500 meters, you may feel slightly winded on your first day. Stay hydrated, take the hillside walks at your own pace, and give yourself a day to adjust before going full speed. Learning one phrase before you arrive will open doors immediately. Con mucho gusto is the Pesa way of saying you are welcome. Locals use it constantly, and hearing a visitor use it genuinely surprises and delights people every time.
Medellin is what happens when a city decides it is going to be something different. Not slowly and not quietly, but through bold public investment, community ownership, and a collective refusal to be defined by a chapter that is now closed. The result is a city that feels alive in every direction at once. The street art climbing the hillsides, the cable cars gliding overhead, the flowers in the median strips. The food that carries centuries of Antiochian tradition and the chefs who are rewriting it at the same time. The warmth of people who are genuinely proud of where they live and want you to understand why.
Whether you come for the culture, the food, the architecture, the weather, or simply to stand in a city and watch what reinvention actually looks like, Medellin will give you more than you expected. When you are ready to plan your trip, search flights and hotels at PalapaVibez.com. The link is in the description. We will help you find the best deal and get you there.
If this video helped you, like, subscribe, and follow for more travel guides every week. And drop a comment below. Did you already know about Medellin's transformation story? Or did something in this video surprise you? We read every single comment, and we would love to know what you think about this city.